Hey, in this week's English lesson, I want to help you. Yes, you finally start thinking in English. You heard me right. You're going to stop translating in your mind. Instead, you'll start thinking in English and speaking English with confidence. Are you ready? Tip number one. Tip number one is to surround yourself with English. Let me break this down. In other words, you need to immerse yourself in English-speaking environments as much as possible. This includes watching movies, listening to music, and reading books in English. The more you expose yourself, the easier it will be to start thinking in English. Now, let me say something that will hopefully encourage you. When I was teaching English in South Korea, I had thousands of students, but there was one student that I will never, ever forget. This individual, he came into my class, and when he started speaking to me, I literally wondered in my mind, why is he in my class? That's how good his English was. His pronunciation was great. His thought process was amazing. And the way he articulated his ideas blew me away. So I asked him, I said, have you ever lived abroad? Did you ever study in America? He said, no. I've never lived abroad and I've never studied abroad. So immediately I was curious, how are you able to speak English so well? And you know what he told me? This tip right here. He immersed himself. He surrounded himself with English. Watching English movies, watching YouTube videos in English, listening to English podcasts, so much so that his English became amazing. So if you're wondering, is this possible? Yes. It doesn't matter where you live. There might not be any other English speaker around you. Don't worry. Remember this tip. When you surround yourself with English, your English will improve and your ability to think in English will also improve. You got me? Let's keep it moving. Tip number two. Tip number two is to speak out loud. Yes, you heard me. Speak out loud. Listen closely. It's important for you to practice speaking English out loud whenever you can. For example, describe your environment. Think of English words to describe various situations, or simply talk to yourself in English. This will help you become more comfortable with thinking in English. It will literally force you to organize your thoughts in English. Before you speak, you have to think, right? So it doesn't matter if you are living alone or if you are living in a country where there's no one else around you. While you're sitting there in your room, in your kitchen, or maybe while you're at work, think about your activity and speak about it. Now, maybe if you're at work, your coworkers might look at you a little funny. So try this when you're in an environment where it won't matter if you're speaking out loud. But it's important to articulate your thoughts. It's important to say them out loud. And when I say out loud, I don't mean, hey, my name is, and how are you? No! Listen, as your English teacher, remember, I believe in you, and you need to believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, your shoulders go back. You speak with more confidence. Speak out loud and with confidence. You have to believe in yourself. So tip number two, speak out loud. Makes sense, right? Now, before we go on to tip number two, I want to remind you that every week I send out tips that help English learners around the world improve their English. So if you're not already getting my newsletter, free newsletter via email, all you have to do is go to www.speakenglishwithtiffany.com/newsletter. I want to help you, and if you'd like to get these free emails, please go to the link and join this email newsletter. I want to help you even more. All right? So let's now go to tip number three. Tip number three is to use images. Use images. Instead of relying on translating words in your head, try to connect English words to their meanings by using actual images. Yes, pictures. You can also create flashcards in order to connect English words with their concepts. Now, I used this in my classroom all the time when I was teaching English in Korea. Remember, I was hired to help some soldiers. They were on the military base and they were trying to learn English. And I used images and they absolutely loved it. Why? Because it was a fun way to learn English. I'd show them a picture and then I'd ask them individually, hey, describe this picture. Pick a word that describes this picture. And they would start thinking of different words because there's something that happens when you use images. It activates a different side of your brain and it makes the learning process more enjoyable. So in order to start thinking in English, start using images and it will trigger certain things in your brain. So no matter what word you say, or if you find a new word, that word will now, moving forward, be connected to that image in your brain. Makes sense, right? Okay, let's move on to tip number four. Tip number four is also an important one. Think in English during everyday activities. You see, when you're performing simple tasks like cooking or driving, it's important for you to try to think in English. For example, describe the steps you are taking, anticipate what you need to do next, and create simple English sentences to describe your daily activities. I used to do this when I was in South Korea studying Korean. Whenever I had to take a taxi and the taxi was driving me from one location to another location, I would in my mind in Korean say, okay, he's about to turn left. All right, now he's about to turn right. Okay, he's going to go forward. He's going to stop at this light. But I was saying it in Korean. Why? To practice using Korean over and over again. And you can do the same thing. Think in